So we're using a trim tool, just remove the vent surround panel very carefully. So we're taking a T15 Torx bit, we're going to undo these 2 bolts above the radio and climate unit. Okay. So again we're using a T15 bit for Torx driver, we're taking out the bottom 2 securing screws. So now we're removing the stereo. We've got 4 and T15 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've undone the 4 T15 bits that are holding the stereo, and now we're just going to take that out and make our wiring connections behind. So to remove the centre vent connections, there's one here and there's another one just in here. So that one just pulls apart and this one just pops out. Have to move the wiring a bit like so, and you can put this somewhere safe. The next step is removal of the screen. So what we're going to do is, again, there's 2 T15 bolts. These are a little bit recessed, so take care not to try not to lose the screws. Okay. So now we're going to pop out the screen to remove it. We've removed the 2 bolts here. The screen is just held in by some clips. So if you're struggling to remove the LVDS connector on the back of the screen, if you put a bit of cloth just to secure the dashboard to protect it getting scratched, you can spin the screen around because it's quite loose, and then you can pull it out from the back. And just press down on that, and it'll come out like that. So the next stage is you take this connector from our CarPlay kit. It's got this green LVDS cable on, and that goes directly into the back of the screen. Like so. It clips in firmly. So this is an NBT head unit in this 2013 BMW 3 Series. What we're doing now is we're just going on to the next part, which is removing the original quad lock, which is held in place by that lever. We don't actually need to touch any of the other connectors. But what we have to note with this is the specific car is fitted with a fibre optic connection there, the most connection there. We fit a pass-through connector so our CarPlay can fit. So what we're going to need to do is remove it from here and put it into the new end, which is going to go into the stereo system. So to remove this most connection and swap it over, it's quite straightforward. Take a flathead screwdriver, we lift up this pin here, that'll come straight out, and then we put this into the other side of the quad lock. At the loom, this is the loom from our CarPlay system, the quad lock, and then we just plug this in the same position, see that just clips in. It's really important that you do that step, because if you don't you can lose audio. So, and then what we can do now, we can take this quad lock and plug it back exactly where we removed the old one. So this is the connection that came out of our original stereo. So we're just going to mate this up at the other end of our CarPlay wiring. Like so. Just like that. Then we take the far end and this will just go straight into the stereo. Make sure it's fully inserted, then you just clip it in. And then this is the actual power wiring which is going to go into the CarPlay box. So we're going to locate the CarPlay box in this area of the dash. There's quite a big space inside here. First of all, we have to make our connections. So the first one I made is a USB, which I've routed down here. Just literally pulled this up and ran it in the dashboard, that structure itself, and out of here. The next one, this is a power coming from the quad lock we've just installed. Quad lock pass-through just installed, so again that goes into power. Make sure that's securely in.
Okay.
So this is the LVDS connection which we removed from the monitor up here. I've pulled it back down to this level, and now this will go into LVDS 2 marked here. That just pops straight in, it clips in, and then finally we've got our LVDS connection on the monitor. So the final connection to make is LVDS 1. So LVDS 1 plugs in like this. The clip at the bottom clips right in, and this will actually go up through here to your factory monitor and plug into the back of that. Okay. So to remove the glove box, we remove 4 T15 Torx screws in the top edge and 2 more underneath, one there, either side, and then it should just drop down. So there's one more Torx screw on the side of the glove box assembly. So I used a trim tool to lever up the sides of the glove box just to free it when all the bolts are removed. That's come out. So now we have to route all the cables to the CarPlay box into this void here next to the stereo, or between the stereo and the glove box. Then we're going to position the box in here, but first of all make the connections. LVDS 1, we need to move the stereo a bit. So when you've located the box, just press the glove box back into place, put the bolts back in. There's 4 at the top, there's 4 at the bottom, 1 in the side, and then it's just a case of refitting the trim. We'll pop this one back in as well. This is the CarPlay main menu.